This looks like a movie, but it's not. These are New South Wales police looking for drug labs on the North Coast. And after months of stakeouts and surveillance, they found one at Yukai near Byron Bay.
Police, get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get on the ground, mate! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Put your arms out!
Hundreds of litres of chemicals were discovered, as well as other products commonly used in the drug cooking process. A lab like this one has the capacity to make up to 50 kilograms of ecstasy per year, with a street value of nearly $10 million. Further south, in the heart of Byron Bay, another man was arrested and handcuffed as part of the same operation. Police allege he's the mastermind behind the lab raided earlier. After being arrested, police escorted Smith to his expensive beachfront home as detectives gathered more evidence. He's now been charged with the commercial supply of ecstasy.
We're pretty proactive about finding these drug labs. We have a very good relationship with our chemical supply companies and equipment supply companies, so we're on the front foot.
And these cops say there will be no let up.
Turn around.
Sarah Coates, 7 News. Neighbours watch helplessly as this timber home goes up in flames. The occupant, a mother of 2 babies, was in the shower when the fire broke out at 9:30. Thankfully, a quick-thinking neighbour bashed down the front door and raised the alarm. They all got out in time. People would say you're a hero, you know, for helping her.
No, not a hero. I think I just do what I should do.
While the cause of this blaze is yet to be determined, firefighters believe Christmas lights may have been a factor. They're warning people to make sure they're connected to a safety switch. He's the newest kid on the block at Taronga Zoo, and 12-year-old French-born silverback Kabali is already popular with his female companions.
You can see that silverback coloration coming out, that magnificent crest, and that really strong, powerful look that a silverback has.
The young male was hand-picked from a number of overseas candidates after he impressed keepers with his good looks, temperament and upbringing.
He came from a very well-established family group with a good silverback, so he had a good role model.
There's a fair bit of pressure on this Frenchman to perform. At 12 years of age, he's nearly reached maturity, and keepers are confident he'll be a big hit with the ladies. At the impressive age of 112, Scottish-born Jane Gray knows a thing or two about the secret to living a long, happy life.
Just drink. But I only drink water.
Jane's daughter Heather says her wicked sense of humour and kind spirit has kept her young. She's also never been on a diet.
You eat all healthy things? As I wanted.
Today, Jane's family and friends from her nursing home at Smithfield threw her a party. Happy birthday to you! After all, not everyone can claim to be the oldest person in Australia. The supercentenarian has lived through 2 world wars, a bout of scarlet fever, the birth of the internet and the reign of every Australian Prime Minister. But there's another title Jane wants, to be the oldest person in the world, currently held by a 115-year-old.
You're going to live past 115. Is that right? Oh, you think you could? I think so.
Sarah Coates, 7 News. The truck had a mechanical failure. Witnesses say they could tell by the way the truck was tearing down this hill that its brakes had failed. Then, as it tried to turn this corner, the vehicle rolled and burst into flames. The 2 men inside made it out with only minor injuries. The Police Rescue and Bomb Disposal Unit operates in the toughest environments. 7 News was invited to join their specialist training, and it's not for the faint-hearted. Okay.
Have a look, Sarah. Have a look. Have a look.
Okay.
How close to the edge are you, Sarah?
I'm on.
Right,
the balls of my feet are on it.
Feet over the edge, mate.
Police rescue do this in all conditions, day or night, right across the state. The pressure brings camaraderie. I'm here at the Rocks in Sydney, where Hugh Jackman has just had a photo call ahead of the Sydney premiere of Les Miserables on the final stop of this promotional tour for the screen version of Les Mis. The movie is creating plenty of hype and is being talked about as potentially Oscar-worthy, but Hugh tells me he doesn't buy into any of that.
I don't read them. I'm too thin-skinned. But the great thing for me was watching the movie with an audience, and it was amazing.
Talitha, the movie comes out on Boxing Day, which is traditionally one of the biggest movie-going days of the year. Thankfully, no one was inside the restaurant when the blaze took hold. It was boarded up and undergoing renovations after being firebombed just last month. Gus Alali and his son Sam own the building. They've been in the area for 40 years. It's their family business. This is the first time you've seen it today. How does it make you feel looking at this?
It makes me angry, it really makes me angry. People got nothing better to do than to make damage to other people's property.
Last night it didn't hit me, but now it hit me when you see it. Standing there, you could feel the flames.
Forecasters predict Sydney will receive at least 290 millimetres by the end of tomorrow, making it a 1 in 10 year rainfall event. The city only needs another 20 millimetres to reach that milestone.
And Sarah Coates joins me now from Dawes Point. Sarah, how much longer are these conditions likely to last?
Mark, more showers are forecast for tomorrow, but they're expected to ease off. We can expect around 50 mil to fall across the coast tomorrow and about half of that in the west. The weather is expected to start clearing up on Tuesday, but keep your umbrellas handy until then, Mark.
OK, Sarah, thank you.
Bobby M didn't know what to do when he realised yesterday he'd won $4.3 million.
I couldn't sleep. Smoked about 100 cigarettes.
So, at 5:30 this morning, he was back at his Newcastle pub, reliving the moment his life changed.
He said, "You've won it." So the day just turned into a bit of a drink.
It was like a bomb hit the joint.
There were other players in the bar and staff had to work out who had won.
We had the most excited bloke in New South Wales and the most disappointed bloke in New South Wales in the same spot at the same time.
Bobby M isn't exactly a stranger to big wins or losses.
I arrived up in Newcastle 13 years ago. I had 1.8 million and blew it on the punt on the horses.
Bobby's wife may not be here any longer, but he still wants to share the win with her memory, donating most of the money to the hospital where she was cared for and the charity where she volunteered. He'll also share the cash with his nieces, even the bar staff, but insists his life won't change.
Just come down here, a few beers, go home, toast and Vegemite for tea.
Sarah Coates, 7 News. Alan Saunders shows off the souvenir from his very close encounter with a grey nurse shark.
A little calling card for me, thanks for letting her go.
He's just had the tooth surgically removed from his shin bone after yesterday's attack in knee-deep water. Despite his ordeal, Alan says he can't wait to get out of hospital and back into the water. But he does have a warning for families planning on swimming at the beach where he was attacked.
The little kids that were swimming around there playing, enjoying themselves, going, oh, yeah, it could happen to one of those.
And Alan already has a plan for that tooth.
Put it on a chain, wear it for good luck.
Sarah Coates, 7 News.
Sarah Coates is at Port Macquarie Hospital where the 2-year-old is being treated. Good morning, Sarah. Now, this is just wonderful news. How is the little boy?
Jess, he's going surprisingly well despite the ordeal. Little Tyler went missing at about 10:30 yesterday from Johns River, which is just near Taree. We were there for part of the search last night and they were so determined to find this little boy. Just before 2 o'clock this morning, the incredible thing happened. The little boy was found. He was roaming through the dense bushland with no shoes on. And they brought him in an ambulance here to Port Macquarie Hospital for checkups, but they say he's miraculously fine and should be discharged from the hospital here within the next half hour to an hour.
Wonderful, Sarah. Thanks for the update.
Penrith, mid-afternoon, when the trip home from school is like stepping into a boxing ring. This woman's daughter was bashed because someone thought she'd gone to the police.
Disgusted. absolutely horrified.
In the eyes of officers, those who take pictures and do nothing are almost as bad as the thugs. Police say kids who want to punch on need to think about the consequences, like getting a criminal record or worse.
Live to Sarah Coates at Shark Park in Sydney. Sarah, any response from the coach or players this afternoon?
Yes, good afternoon, Ryan. The team trained as normal today, but there was definitely a very serious and sombre mood as they left Shark Park. Players have been instructed not to comment on the issue, but it's pretty clear they are all sticking together. The club's been handed a provisional fine of $1 million for exposing players to potential health risks, as well as possible breaches of the NRL anti-doping rules and allowing people without the proper qualifications to administer supplements to players. The NRL has suspended the coach, Shane Flanagan, for a year for failing to provide a safe work environment and not taking action when he knew players were being administered supplements. That ban, of course, is effective immediately. Former strength and conditioning coach Trent Elkin, who's now at Parramatta, has had his NRL registration cancelled and has been told he would be unlikely to get another job in league for around 2 years.
If the provisional findings prove to be justified, we would regard such conduct as entirely contrary to the game's rules and the game's values. We will not accept practices that put our players at risk. This is about people with a duty of care to our athletes, and this is about good governance within a club, and this is about making sure that we're always putting the welfare of athletes first and foremost.
Now, all parties involved have until January 15 to respond to these provisional findings, and with a separate ASADA investigation ongoing, no action will be taken against players until that is all wrapped up.